Welcome back to the Iraqi Dinner channel. Today, we're diving into the latest updates on the US dollar exchange rates in Iraq, including what's happening in Baghdad and Erbil. So, whether you're a local resident or planning to exchange currency soon, stay tuned to find out what's happening with the dollar and the dinar. We've got some key updates about the exchange rates of the US dollar against the Iraqi dinar as of this Saturday, and it's an interesting time to keep an eye on the market. So let's get right into the details. Let's start with Baghdad. On Saturday, the exchange rate for the US dollar dropped just a little bit. The current rate is set at 150,400 Iraqi dinars for every 100 US dollars, which is a slight decrease from the morning rate of 150,500 IQD for the same amount. This shift may seem small, but it's always worth keeping track of these trends, especially if you're planning any kind of currency exchange. While Baghdad saw this small drop, Erbil, located in the Kurdistan region of Iraq, has actually kept its exchange rates steady. In Erbil, the selling price for the US dollar is 150,250 dinars for every $100, and the buying price is 150,150 IQD. So, while Baghdad's rate is fluctuating, Erbil has maintained stability. So, what does this mean for both cities? Well, it could suggest that local demand for the US dollar in Baghdad is slightly different from Erbil, or that market dynamics, such as the volume of foreign trade and exchange, are influencing the rates in each city in different ways. This is something to keep in mind, especially if you're exchanging money in either city. Now let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture, the role of the Iraqi central bank in these fluctuations. According to a recent survey from Shafaq News, the Iraqi central bank, CBI, has been heavily involved in foreign exchange sales over the past week. In fact, the CBI sold over $1.16 billion in hard currency, which averages out to about $291.6 million per day. So, if you're wondering where all this money is coming from, the CBI is helping to manage the supply and demand of dollars in the market. The highest amount of dollars sold last week was recorded on Tuesday, reaching a significant $299.9 million, while the lowest was on Wednesday at about $283 million. This means that there's a bit of fluctuation in the total dollar sales, which also impacts the overall exchange rate for the dinar, but it's clear that the CBI is working hard to regulate these numbers and keep the market stable. So, why does this matter to you? Well, if you're dealing with currency exchange, whether for business or personal reasons, the CBI's actions are helping to prevent any drastic changes in the value of the dinar. The constant sales of US dollars in the market help ensure there's enough liquidity, which helps maintain more predictable exchange rates. It's definitely something worth following if you're planning any big transactions. Let's break it down further. If you're in Baghdad and looking to exchange your dollars, the rates at currency exchange shops are actually a little higher than those set by the central bank. The selling price at these stores is about 151,500 IQD per 100 US dollars, while the buying price is 149,500 IQD. This is common in currency exchange shops, as they typically offer slightly different rates than the official ones and can sometimes be influenced by supply and demand within the local market. In contrast, Erbil maintains a narrower range, with the selling price at 150,250 IQD per 100 US dollars, and the buying price is a bit lower at 150,150 IQD. So, if you're exchanging dollars in Erbil, you're likely to get a more consistent and steady rate compared to Baghdad, but as always, it's good to check that rates regularly. They can change pretty quickly. But why does this happen? Well, currency exchange rates are influenced by a lot of factors, including government policies, economic conditions, and even the global supply and demand for US dollars. With the central bank's heavy involvement in foreign exchange, they're trying to strike a balance, keeping the Iraqi dinar stable while managing the flow of foreign currency like the dollar. And speaking of the central bank, let's not forget about the cash sales that are happening alongside the foreign exchange sales. The Iraqi central bank sold over $71 million in cash during the past week, with the remaining balance, more than $1.09 billion, coming from foreign exchange operations. This shows just how much the CBI is managing both physical currency and digital transactions to keep the market in check. It's important to understand that the central bank's role is crucial in this whole system. By selling dollars into the market, they're essentially providing a buffer for the Iraqi economy and preventing extreme fluctuations in the exchange rate. So when we see these small changes in the dollar-to-dinar ratio, remember, it's the result of active management and market forces at play.